All right, it is 7:01. I will call the Newcastle Select Board meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, moving on to item 3, amendments to the agenda. I'm gonna renumber, just sort of change a few things around on new business. So 7.1 will now be select board appointments. 7.2 will be select board bylaw review, and 7.3 will be review election results. And then do I have a motion to approve the minutes from May 23rd and June 13th?
So moved.
Moved by Tor. Do I have a second? Seconded by Rob. Any discussion?
On the minutes for the June 13th. Up here, item 7.2. The CLC ambulance formula. The last line of that should be, which is based on this was a 50% call volume, 50%. Our secondary preference was 50% valuation, 50% call volume, not a third.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'll make that change. Thank you.
Great. Anything else? All right, all those in favor with the noted changes? All right, 4 with 1 abstention. Right. So move on to item 5, public comments for items not on the agenda. Board requests public comments on limited to 5 minutes per subject. Do we have any public comments? It's gone twice. Moving on to 7.1, select board appointments. This is the point in the year where we board appoints chair and vice chair.
I nominate Joel as chair.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Karen. Yeah, I will do it again. That's good job. Great. So all those in favor? I'm gonna abstain. I'm not gonna vote for myself. All right, and then nominations for vice chair. Karen? Does Karen accept this nomination?
Sure.
All right. All those in favor? All right. Passes 5 with 1 abstention.
I just want to know if this is like coming under the board where it really only requires an extra hour a week or something.
No.
We're going to be honest about this one.
Yeah, we're gonna be honest about this one. So at that point, you gotta switch places.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do we
cool.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
You
man.
gotta move. You
I
don't
get
have to
to
sit
hide
next
it.
to me anymore.
Good. I get away finally.
I didn't know we've been looking at seats.
Oh, yeah.
This is the power table.
This is
Yeah.
it.
That's where things happen.
Okay.
Hey, neighbor.
So moving on to 7.2, select board bylaw review. And did everyone have a chance to kind of go through it? And we looked at it not that long ago and you got a chance to go through it. We kind of like to go through and we revisit this every year just to refresh ourselves, see if there's anything that we need to change. Sometimes there's things that get dated and need to be reviewed, and we can discuss them a little bit now and set a agenda, set a time to discuss them in another agenda if we want to. Did anyone have anything that they wanted to go over in particular?
I read it and it seemed
So
like it needed change.
yeah, the meeting length, I don't know whether we need to either
The 9
change
the 9
change the
o'clock.
time of adjourning at 9 o'clock or just start meeting earlier. We'll just start meeting at 4:30 in the afternoon. And then
If you average all of our meetings, maybe.
maybe
Mhm.
that meeting was an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything looks good. I mean, I think we brought up the attendance thing a couple times. When a member is not available for more than 4 unexcused regular, the select board member shall be subject to censure. I'm not really sure what that means. Right. So
Right.
it's kind of a funny,
So it's subjective.
it's a little subjective. I mean, I think the idea, I don't know. I don't know what. It's something that I'm not suggesting we necessarily get rid of it right now, but
Does this wording come from MMA, you know, or is it just something that we put in there?
I don't know. Some of it was, I know that when I talked to Pete, when Peter's talked about it before, he's said that censure is kind of funny. It's nothing we can really do, basically. I don't know how we would.
The question is, what does it mean? for
Right.
us?
And then I guess the other thing I just kind of wanted to check in on is this was the first year we started doing the public comment, not the select board future agenda items section. And it's worked a couple times where, the idea was that there's a form that you can fill out, which I don't even know where we have the forms or how you kind of get, I don't know where that is. We sort of email them
There's a
out.
form.
There's a form.
Oh,
There's supposed to be a form.
Was it a question or a
yeah,
statement?
question.
There's
I don't
supposed to
know.
be a
there is.
form.
Yeah, there's a
The idea is that there's a form that if you want to put something on the agenda, you fill out this form. Oh, you have one?
I can see if I put it in here.
You fill out the form and it says what the agenda item is.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, there you go. Selectmen agenda item submission form. So date submitted, proposed by, so Joel, subject, I want a slide installed at town office into a swimming pool because it's hot. And then this is supposed to come and be in front of the chair before the meeting starts, not at the meeting. We would get some of these things wouldn't know, so I'd skip over it. But the idea is that it's something that can either be submitted to Sarah or can be, submitted, at the time of the meeting, but it brings up the subject. So if there's something that a select board member wants to bring up, put on the agenda, it'll be read, it'll be confirmed by another member, and then we'll set a date to discuss it. So I think, the idea with this was just to make sure that everyone had a voice and had a moment to put things on the agenda and future agendas that we needed. I don't know if there's any suggestions in cleaning this up or making it more effective or.
I think it's a good stopgap. I mean, most things get, discussion and just go on without the formal filling out of the form. But I think it's a good stopgap if someone feels like they're being ignored and they need to get it in. I think it's good to have as a practice, but we don't need to do it for everything.
I think the one thing I would say is that if we had this, maybe it doesn't have to be paper because I know Rob hates paper, but if we had something, I think the idea with having a form and having it be on paper was that it wouldn't just die. It wouldn't just get forgotten about. So again, I'm not suggesting that we have a binder full of these things, but maybe there's some sort of electronic document thing that we could have and keep it and just revisit it and make sure that we're not forgetting things that we said we were going to talk about. So just something to think about.
Do you want me to not write on your paper and fill
No.
this out?
Well, this is official.
Okay, good.
All right. So anything else Nothing else to mention, discuss? Everyone's good? All right. Great. So moving on to 7.3, review election results. So I just want to take a minute and just kind of go through our annual town meeting. It was attended, I think we had about 50,
Paper said 55.
55.
Never that many votes,
It
but
was never
Yeah.
that many votes, yeah. I thought it was 40.
What was it? Yeah,
One point we had 41.
something
45.
had 48 votes.
but yeah, I mean, everything passed.
I guess. Yeah. We were counting ourselves too.
Was that?
We were counting ourselves.
Yeah, we're counting ourselves.
It's not just.
So, I don't know, anything anyone took from it, had thoughts, surprised by?
I mean, nothing was close, so I mean,
Yeah, no.
everything was decisive.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really came down to a margin where you say, maybe we should talk about that.
It seemed like a really smooth process overall, so I
Mhm.
just wonder what were the things that made it so smooth and how can we,
Do it again.
yeah, do it again. That was great.
Yeah. I heard it was because of our explanation.
Yeah, and I think everyone did a good job with the explanation, I think better than usual, so, because I would forget to really prepare anything.
Wing it.
Ryan always gave me the hard one, but no, I thought the explanation was good, and it's I think it's important to get that out of the way in the very beginning, and it helps with transparency to discuss the areas where things went up, where the increases were,
Mhm.
explain why they went up.
Yeah. No, another thought was, I thought the article that preceded our meeting, where sorry, it was quoted, quarter. I thought that was
Oh.
very good
Yep.
because it explained everything. So people had a sense of what they're coming to.
Right.
So not that we can predict that we're manage that next time, but I think it.
Right. No, that definitely did.
I sent explanations to the paper in writing, subdividing each section of our budget and explained where the biggest increases were in case there were questions.
I was kind of surprised. I thought we'd have more questions about the ARPA funding. Just
Yeah.
because it was something that was, it was a lot of money, and it was something that it's new to people. So I think, there was a lot of discussion in other towns about it, but I was surprised. No discussion over anything.
But there was there was a lot of discussion. Most of the towns.
Right.
So I think it was already people's knowledge base. What was going on.
Right.
There's this money up there.
I think we did a good job with the, with how we allocated the money too, in breaking it out among the different categories in some sort of a manner, so that it wasn't just taking bad free money for doing something.
I think we're the only town I've seen that did anything socially
Oh,
in the
really?
community. I haven't seen anybody else do
Yeah, no,
anything.
and that's, at least half the categories we're really trying to get at
Mhm.
social need. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have something back.
It would have been easier to dump it into roads.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like the intent. so.
No.
We just received our second installment of ARPA funding from the state today. So,
The
Second,
second to total or
final?
second to what we?
second to the total, so now we have the total amount
Okay.
that was allocated. They subdivided our total in half and sent it in 2 installments. So
Okay.
we've had 92,000 previously that we have not fully expended yet, and now we have the second installment. So now that it's been approved at town meeting, we can go and process everything that was approved.
Okay, great.
I did get one comment from someone who would have liked the similar explanations of all the boilerplate stuff that we do every year. I mean, we've done it so many times that we just kind of take it for granted. But
You mean for
all the, you know, the second half of the warrant, basically, the authorizing us to,
The select
you know,
board.
the select
That's a
board to
good-
do all
yeah.
those things. And it might be good to have, maybe not each item, but just sort of have a description of, this is, why are these all here? We have to do it annually. Just a short description of the whole batch of them might be helpful.
Yep.
I mean, we used to every year get a question about, you know, what is overlay and what is, and we didn't get that this year. I think just again, in keeping with our introduction of the budget articles, it probably would be good to have an introduction to that.
Right,
It's
like
a
Article
good-
23, I almost think we should have explained it because we had enough no votes on that I don't think people understood what it was, the one where we don't have to dispose of a property. That's
Well,
not in
we
the town's
had a
best
bunch of
interest.
no's on that, and it was like,
Wait,
I know, why would you want
Right.
the town to have to take something that costs money?
right,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it needed an explanation.
Yeah. Then we would have been over our hour.
Aye.
So that's the.
So
other
what's
thing.
important?
But yeah, and I think that also, I mean, we were fortunate this year, and I think we did a good job with the budget as well, where we had such a modest increase in the overall budget, that's usually what makes for a quiet meeting. That's when the really quiet meetings really started. Yeah. That was the first question that used to be asked. How much is the budget going up this year?
Yeah.
So. And then, yeah, and then I was instructed from our assessor's agent to never, do not, he said, do not answer the question about the mill rate.
Yeah,
He said,
right.
don't even go there.
Right.
It's a much more complicated.
There's no way to know until you have an approved budget
Right.
and current valuation.
So yeah, and I think the slide in the very beginning that showed we kind of, because of the setup, it was hard to see what was going on with
Behind
the,
us.
because it was behind us. And so we kind of skipped over the slide that Ben put together that showed the pie graph with where all the money, where the total budget was and the percentage increase for the overall budget. And I think maybe that's something that we could do a better,
That
do a
provides
better,
good-
do a good overview of the entire thing and then launch into the individual items and just sort of open it that way. So that was something that I think it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, it was fine. No one complained about it. So.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. And that was just part of we were in
Yeah.
the gymnasium, which worked okay. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was fine. I missed the dining commons. The dining commons really was a nice place. And you have all those windows.
I think in the future we'll probably be in the dining
I hope
commons
so.
again.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's.
But it seemed like people felt comfortable and a few people with masks. And a
If
few-
for only one reason, the air system.
yeah,
Gymnasium. It's horrendous.
It was
Yeah.
so loud.
but that was what was keeping us safe. Was that noise?
Nobody could hear us.
Nobody. That's the only reason no one wanted to talk. They were
Right,
Just like
yeah.
that was that deadening noise. So, yeah. All right. Well, good. Well, it was, it was a lot to put together this year. But the first one for the town of Newcastle. So
Yeah.
Back live.
this is the first one live in a couple of years. So
Well, and for secret ballot, both school budgets passed for Great Salt Bay and for secondary schools. And budget validation referendum process was approved for the next 3 years for both again. So we'll still have budget validation meetings.
yeah, so that was another thing that I was curious as to how we maybe educate people on what they're voting on.
Yeah.
With that question.
That's a hard one because we're not allowed to bring it to in-person town meeting.
Right.
It has to be on secret ballot and it happens before town meeting, of course, so we can't, it's hard to get, we can talk about it absolutely at select board meetings.
We hold a public hearing for it if we wanted to. right? Something on the,
That's a good question for Peter.
that'd be-
Because I think most people see that and say, yes.
Well,
I mean, they don't, I don't think they.
I
know
actually,
what-
I actually think a significant number of people do get it. And the problem is that the attendance at the school budget meetings is so low that, you know, I mean, for secondary budget, often it's a handful of people.
Right.
You know, 10 is a big number. So I think that I suspect that, you know, people don't want our school budgets to be just totally decided by 10 voters.
Yeah, but then when we do the validation, we do the validate, yeah,
No, because the vote on the validation was to go do away with validation.
right.
So then it would only be voted on in person. So that's the
Yeah.
piece that people aren't comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's kind of, it's annoying process, but it's all specified by the state.
I wonder, just another thought on this, in the next meeting, should we have a, just a portion to recap where we are with fund balance? Where we are with investments?
You're not being heard.
Can you hear me?
Where we are with our fund balance.
Yeah.
I mean, we could definitely show that. You think, and
Why?
or what would that look like? I guess.
I don't know. This is how much money that we have in general fund. I mean, this is where
Yeah.
what we're getting for return on investment. I mean, this is a whole financial picture.
Right.
It could be another
That-
slide along
I
with
think that
that,
would
you know, the pie chart that I didn't see.
Right.
For our
yeah.
overall
Part
budget
of that-
would be sort
Part
of
of that. portion.
just here's the state of the town financially.
Yeah.
And that would probably be a healthy thing to talk about.
Healthy is a good word.
I don't know. Could someone make a motion on the floor to expend all our fund balance and cut the taxes to nothing for a year?
Oh, you mean in the meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, right. I mean,
But-
hey, it's open book.
Yeah.
So, you know,
No, it is. It's good.
if we're spending people's money, we should know where it's being stored too.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and I think with that, we'd have to have an explanation as to what fund balance, you know, kind of
don't know.
is and how it's, because it's not from, we didn't get to the fund balance that we are right now because of overtaxing and underspending.
Mhm.
It was being conservative with our revenues. And a lot of that was because there were some big unknowns as to, in a previous administration, as to if we were going to get any state aid at all for a lot of things. And so that's really what boosted our
Oh, no, I get it. I mean, you don't have to,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're explaining it to me or
No,
the
no, I'm
people in
just-
general. but
yeah,
I
I
think-
just-
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I don't even think we need to get into that much education.
right,
You know, it's one of those things.
just kind of
You,
showing.
you show it, and if there's questions, people take the mic and they ask questions. So
Yeah.
at least it's there for them to talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that we necessarily have to educate everybody. You know, detail.
Slide on fund balance. This is my time capsule I was telling you about. It's my book that I'm gonna keep all year. I'm not gonna lose this book. I'm writing it right in here. Discussion. All right, those are the only two things we really got. Huh? What do you think, Tom? We do all right?
Yeah.
We did okay. Cool. All right, moving on to 8.1 town warrant for $175,859.56. Do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Karen, seconded by Rob. Any discussion?
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Good to me. All right. All those in favor? Wanna vote? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna abstain. I haven't
Oh, okay.
seen the warrant.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So passes 4 with 1 abstention. And then that is it. So do I have a motion to go into executive session under 1 MRSA section 4056A, legal contracts and personnel?
So move.
Moved by Tor, seconded by Rob. All those in favor? All right, passes 5-0.
Two quick